Yep. Good morning, everyone. So last session, I given you overview on TypeScript language basics we are learning. We discussed about TypeScript variables. TypeScript variables, we learned about how we can declare and use variables. Three important keywords are there for declaring. One is var, let, and constant. Same as JavaScript variables. So what is var? Var is which scope? Function scope. Let and constant are block scope. They are block scope. So which one allows shadowing and hoisting? Var allows shadowing and hoisting. Let will not allow shadowing and hoisting. What is constant restriction? Constant restriction is it allows only initialization. Assignment and declaration are not allowed. Right? Actually, these are same JavaScript basic points only. I just given an overview. Now, after understanding variables, you have learned general JavaScript variable rules and all same. You know the JavaScript variable rules. What are the JavaScript variable rules? Variable name must start with an alphabet or an underscore. It cannot start with a number, right? Such basic rules. And I hope you also learned global variable, local scope, global scope. Those are all JavaScript things I will not repeat here. Here I am going to discuss only what is new and different from JavaScript. Which are same in JavaScript, we will skip that because this is not JavaScript class. And you should learn in JavaScript only and come here to learn Angular. So I am going to skip all similar concepts. I am going to discuss only what is new in TypeScript. So after understanding variables, now today we will see one more very important TypeScript data types. TypeScript data types. Actually, what is the meaning of data type? So data type is not just only about what type of data you can store. It is not just about what type of data you can store. Data type is about complete data structure. Data structure. Actually, data type defines the data structure. It defines the data structure. Data structure means what type of data you can store, how much data you can store, and how you can control the stored data. All this comes under data structure. So data type is not just only about the type of data. It is about the complete structure. Complete structure means it defines the type, range, and behavior. So data type is not just what type. It defines what type of data, what range of data, how it behaves. All these comes under data type. They are all under data type. So actually TypeScript is a strongly typed language. Strongly typed language. What does it means? Strongly typed language means JavaScript is not a strongly typed language. TypeScript is a strongly typed language. Strongly typed language means it can restrict the data type. JavaScript cannot restrict data types. So TypeScript can restrict data type. It is a strongly typed language. It can set restrictions. It can set restriction for data reference. It can set restriction for data reference. What type of data, how much data to store, these restrictions we can define by using the data types. And actually TypeScript data types are same as JavaScript types. TypeScript data types are same as JavaScript types. They are same as JavaScript types, classified into two groups. You know, JavaScript data types are two types. You know them. What are those? Primitive types. Another one is non-primitive. Non-primitive type. JavaScript data types and TypeScript data types are same. Only the point is in JavaScript there is no restriction, but in TypeScript we have restriction. So we have primitive types and non-primitive types. Syntactically, we declare a variable name. After defining variable name, we have to put a colon and we have to mention data type. And if you want, you can initialize any value into it. This is generally the basic syntax. In TypeScript, when you declare a variable, the variable data type is defined by using colon. So this colon is what kind of operator? Generally, what do you call colon as? What this colon is known as? In software programming, colon and the dot, what is their meaning? In software programming, colon is actually inheritance operator. Inheritance operator. And dot dot is an invoking operator. Dot is an invoking operator. That means generally what you do, suppose you write some name dot length. That means it invokes length. It invokes length and it returns the length. It is an invoking operator. It invokes and returns the length. Dot is invoking operator and colon is inheritance operator. Actually, colon is inheritance. So variable inherits the type. So whatever the type restrictions are there, they are set to this variable, right? So when you declare variables in TypeScript, it is important to mention the data type. Here, an important notice: if data type is not defined for variable, if data type is not defined for variable in TypeScript, then the default type is the default type is any. That means if you don't define any data type, automatically the data type will be defined as any. That means now variable is ready to store any kind of value, any kind of value. Here, one interesting point will be there. Actually, syntax will be like this: var some variable name, and you don't mention the data type. If you don't mention the data type, then so the variable name will be applied with any type, will be applied with any type. By default, if data type is not mentioned, then it is any type, any type. One more special point is TypeScript. TypeScript supports type inference. Type inference. TypeScript supports type inference. What does type inference means? So TypeScript supports type inference. Type inference means, so the data type will be determined according to value initialized. The data type will be determined according to value initialized. That means if you don't mention data type, then TypeScript will give default type as what type? Any. But once you initialize any value into it, then according to the value type, the data type is fixed again. That means, for example, var some x. Now what is x type? X is equal to what type? Any. That means x is any type. Now what we done is, into that var x, we assigned, initialized some value, then automatically x is number. That means you don't mention the data type, you just initialize some value. According to which value you initialize it, the data type will be fixed now. So that means it will not allow any another type. So without mentioning the data type also, TypeScript can restrict data type depending on the value that you have initialized. So if the value you initialized is number, then its data type is fixed as number. This mechanism is called type inference. Type inference means even when the data type is not defined, variable can restrict data type. How it can restrict data type if data type is not mentioned? Depending on the value you have initialized. Remember, it is depending on the value initialized, not on. It is not on the value assigned. That means, note this point very well, right? Type inference is based on the value initialized. The value initialized, not assigned. That is important. That means, for example, I said var x. When I say var x, what is the data type? X, what type? Any. After that, into x, I send some 10. Then what is the data type? No, here also x any type on. So I defined x equal to some John, some name. It is storing string, but X is what type? Any type. That means data type is determined based on the value initialized, not assigned. If you don't initialize, then its data type is always any, right? So if you initialize, then data type can be determined. So even when you don't define the data type, it can restrict the data type based on what the type that you have initialized. So that is very important. That means the data type will be determined according to the value initialized, not assigned, right? This is very important while working with data types. I will show you this point now. Let's see here. Let's open our project of TypeScript. And in this TypeScript project, I'm just configuring some value. Suppose var, and I defined X. Now you can see by default, we haven't mentioned data type. Then X will be treated as any. Now into X, I stored 10. That means now X is any only. It is not number. So into X, I stored a string. Then also X type is what? Any. But remember here, when X is initialized with 10, then automatically X is number. X is number. And now into X, I am storing some string. Then it is not allowed. Why? Because it says it is a number and you cannot assign string. So even you don't define the data type, it can restrict the data type. This mechanism of determining data type based on the value that you have initialized, this mechanism is called as type inference. We call that mechanism as type inference. So if anybody asked what is type inference, it is the mechanism of identifying the value type and making its type as data type. And inference is not based on value assigned. It is based on value initialized. This is very important. I hope now you understood, right? So you assign string or you assign number, its data type is always what? Any type, right? So this is first thing, how you can declare variables in a TypeScript. Now we will see what are the primitive types. JavaScript primitive types, I hope you learned. What are the JavaScript primitive types means? Primitive types, what is their behavior? What is the behavior of primitive types in JavaScript? First point about primitive types in JavaScript, what you learned? JavaScript primitive types, they are immutable types. They are immutable types. Immutable types means structure cannot change. Structure cannot change. That means they have fixed range of values, fixed range for values. They have fixed range for values. Structure cannot change. So primitive types are immutable types. Immutable types means you cannot change their structure. They have a fixed range. And actually they are stored in memory. They are stored in memory stack. Stack works with the mechanism last in, first out. So usually the primitive types are stored in a memory stack. They are immutable types. Their structure cannot change. They have a fixed range for values. These are all primitive types, immutable. And what are the primitive types we have? The primitive types of JavaScript. Tell me, what are the primitive types of JavaScript? We have a number, we have a string, we have a boolean, we have null, and we have undefined, and very latest one is symbol. These are the primitive types of JavaScript. JavaScript primitive types, they are used in the same way in TypeScript also. So I am not going to explain them because the data types are same as JavaScript. So there is no change in data types. Only the point is, while declaring a variable, we don't mention about data type in JavaScript, but in TypeScript, we have to mention the data type. And if data type is not mentioned, automatically type inference will take place. Type inference will be according to the values initialized, right? So these are the data types. This all comes under which category? Primitive types. I will give you a simple point here. Now, generally, let's see what is a number type. Actually, number type can handle, it can handle. So signed integers, it can handle unsigned integer, it can handle floating point, double, decimal, binary, hexa, octa, big int, and exponent. All these comes under number. You learned in JavaScript the number type, the same here in TypeScript. So a number type can handle signed integers, unsigned integers, floating point, double, decimal, binary, hexa, octa, big int, and exponents. I hope you already know these. What are these types in JavaScript? Actually, signed integer means any negative sign, negative some 445, something like this. This is signed integer. Unsigned means it's a positive number. Floating point means up to 2 decimal places and integer. Double means up to 3 decimal places, 3 integer and fractions. If more than 3, that is called as a decimal. That is called as decimal. Binaries, usually they will be having B as a character. Binaries will be having a B character. So hexa will have, I hope you learned in HTML, hexa will have value from 0 to F. Am I right? And octa will have O. O will be octa. So big int are used for, these are binary. This is used for large binary format. That means for photos, animations, anything you want to store. then we need a big int, we call big int. Exponent is defined by using E. Exponent is defined by using E. What is 2e3 means? 2e3 is nothing but 2 into 10 to the power of 3. That will be 2000. This is number. So in JavaScript, whatever number types are supported, the same in TypeScript also, no change. So JavaScript number type and TypeScript number type both are same. Only the way how you declare will be changing. So syntax will be like this. So where price, it is what type, number, and in this we can initialize some value. Like this how you define. Suppose where some rate, so this I defined as number, it can be like 2e3. Suppose I am declaring like where some bit is also a number type. So 0b1010. Actually, it is for binary 10. Right? And what 2e3 will return? It will return how much? 2000. So when you are storing any of these, then data type must be number. If you are storing an exponent, if you are storing an binary, if you are storing some hexa or octa, if you are storing a floating point or decimal or integer, then the data type must be what type? Number. Number type. So depending on what type of data you are dealing, the data type must be configured. So let's see this simple example I will show here. I'm writing like this. Suppose a constant is there. In the constant, I define bit, and what is the type as number, and 0b1010. This is a type. Suppose I created another constant exp. So, and it is an number type and is equal to 2e3. This is also number only. So number means it can be anything out of the list I given. Right? Now you try to present this and see console.log. So we will print here. So bit is equal to how much? So we will access bit. And in the next line, I'm accessing exponent. Exponent is equal to exp. I'm just printing those two details. Huh? Now, just for, you can run from command line, but just for your understanding sake, just I'm opening in a new screen and compiling. You use the terminal to compile. Already you know it. Huh? Here tsc index.ts and node index.js. So that is bit is binary 10 and exponent is 2000. So these are what type? These are number type. How do we configure the numbers and define them? So this is one important data type, that is number. Example I am just giving that here. So number type, there is no change. So whatever the number type you learned in JavaScript, same. Here all the concepts for number are defined by using the data type number. Okay. And I hope you learned in JavaScript, same functions also we use here. What are those functions? To verify the input type, to verify the input type number or not. So which function is used? We use in JavaScript, what is used to verify whether the number they input is a number or not, value they input a number or not. In JavaScript, how to check whether the value they input is a number or not? By using, we use the function is NaN, not a number. In JavaScript, to verify the input number or not, we use is NaN. Now, to convert string format numeric values into number, we use two techniques: parse int, another one is parse float. I hope you learned these also in JavaScript, right? Same concepts in TypeScript, right? So here, remember, for Angular, you need TypeScript, but for TypeScript, you need JavaScript. And here, teaching you TypeScript means not repeating all JavaScript concepts again. Only what is new in TypeScript we will discuss. That is the reason some topics fastly we review and some topics detailedly we will discuss. New topics detailedly we will discuss, and others just a fast review is enough, because those you will learn in JavaScript anyhow, and you already know if you done JavaScript. So this is number related options. While working with numbers, these are the options you need to understand. Is it clear to everyone? Right? How to declare a variable to store number. And if data type is number, in that what kind of values we can store. If data type is number, what kind of values we can store? These all. Signed, unsigned, floating, double, decimal, binary, hexa, octa, big int, another one, exponent. This is the number type, right? Next, important, why it is primitive type? Why it is primitive type? For example, I will tell you here, suppose where some number n is equal, n is what type? Number type. Now, in this, I am storing some 20. If I ask the question, how much number I can store in this n? How much number I can store in n? That means, is there any limit for it? Yes, there is limit. Primitive types means they have limit. Primitive types means they have limit. You cannot cross the limit. That is the meaning immutable. Immutable means I given the point, they have a fixed range, right? Numbers have a fixed range. String have a fixed range. You cannot say that we can store any number. You can't store any number. There is a range. So I will show you here actually. Means just the range I will show you here. See, I am printing the range for you, which you know already here. Minimum is equal to, so number dot min safe integer, and maximum is equal to number dot max safe integer. I am printing the range of number allowed in JavaScript and showing you. Actually, the range of number in JavaScript and TypeScript is this: minus 9007199 plus 9007199. That means you cannot say that we can store any number. You cannot store any number less than this or greater than this. So the maximum range of number is this and minimum is this. That is why these are called as primitive types. Primitive types means if anybody asked like, okay, the range maximum is 900,991. I want one more number extra. Is it possible? No chance. There is no chance. So you cannot adjust. One more number I want to store. You can't adjust. It should be within this range. Right? That is why these are called as primitive types. Right? So this is the meaning of primitive and number. Okay. Now, if you want, you can try this. Just example I will give here. What you do is in your JavaScript, you can just write a function. We can just write a function like, so number dot min safe integer. If you can write this, it will return the minimum number. If you want to know the maximum number, document dot write, you can try number dot max safe integer. So the numbers must be within this range. That is min safe and max. So JavaScript and TypeScript both are same in handling numbers. Only type restriction is important. Okay. Next important in the data types, string type. And there is no change. In JavaScript, how many ways you can write a string? There are 3 ways: single quote, double quotes, and backtick. You learn 3 methods, right? So what is string? String is a literal with a group of characters enclosed in we have single quote will be like this, enclosed in double quote is enclosed like this, and enclosed in backtick which is like this. So in JavaScript you can write strings in 3 ways. Same in TypeScript. So what is difference between single quote, double quote, and backtick? You learned in JavaScript. Actually, what is the speciality of backtick in latest JavaScript? Backtick main advantage is it allows embedded expressions. For example, I will show you here. Actually, backtick is new from ES 5 and higher. From JavaScript ES 5 and higher version, backtick is new. So it allows embedded expression, which is defined with dollar and block. This is how we write embedded expression. So JavaScript string, TypeScript string, no change. Both are same. JavaScript string type and TypeScript string type both are similar. Actually, backtick allows embedded expression. How I will show you simple. For example, single quote, double quote, single quote, double quote is nothing but to write inner and outer strings, we use them. For example, we are writing, suppose like this. Let me give you a syntax. We are creating a link and it is what type? String. Here we return anchor. So suppose this anchor is having home and this anchor is having href. For href, we need to mention a file name. You cannot use double quote again. If outer string is already in double quote, then inner string must be in single quote. Like this, we have to write. Or you can flip this. We can write link. It is what type? String. Outer string you can write in single quote. An inner string you can write in double quote. That is how we write. If outer string is in single quote, inner string must be double. If outer is double, inner must be single. But single and double quotes will not allow expression. Actually, what is the point? Single and double quote. Double quote uses plus to concat expression. Understood? Single and double quotes uses plus to concat expression. But backtick advantage, it can use dollar curly brace. That is what embedded expression is. I will show you. This is same how you do in your JavaScript. JavaScript numbers, TypeScript numbers same. JavaScript string, TypeScript string same. So let's see here. I will show you the difference now. Actually, here I am writing like this. I will write here sentence where use name, it is a string type, and I return John. And where age, it is number type, and I return some age. Now here I am writing a message. Message, it is a string type. Message is a string type. And here I want to print message. I'm using double quote. I need to use a sentence hello. To this hello, I need to concat username. Then we have to use which operator? Plus. Plus username. Okay. After that, again the string continues. Then again plus. I write here as you will be. And after that, an expression age plus 1. I want to calculate age plus 1. Then again concat. And in a parenthesis, we have to write age plus 1 because that is a calculation. After that, again string. Then again plus. So next year, like this I am writing. This is old way of JavaScript. This we don't prefer now. Lot of issues, concatenation. Even you concat, the presentation have some issues now. For example, you see now, let's print console.log msg. When we print this, let's run this and see tsc index.ts and node index.js. And you can see it prints like this. Hello, John, you will be 24 next year. But there is no proper space because you are using concat and it is not having proper space. Then what we do is for space also you have to put an empty quote like this. After username again empty quote. After this again empty quote. After age again empty quote. This is how we write. Now you compile that and run that and see. You can see the output is displayed in this way. This is old technique of writing a string. In modern JavaScript, we don't write like this. In modern JavaScript, how we write is, we generally define like this. Suppose I'm using, this is message 1, we are printing. Suppose I'm using message 2. It is also string type, but this time we will use a backtick here. We are going to use a backtick here. This is backtick. What is advantage of backtick is nothing but inside the backtick, you see, I am writing hello. Here I am writing hello. And after that, I need to put some dynamic value, then just dollar and curly brace. This is new way of writing string. Actually, it is not new. It is there from several years now. From 2015, it is there. But our people are learning 2010 JavaScript even today. So that is unfortunately, that is the reason many people who know JavaScript, they don't know this also. Right? This is nothing new. ES6, ES5 means JavaScript 2015. Still you are learning JavaScript and you don't know this means it is very poor. That means you are still learning 10 years back JavaScript only. Because in the latest JavaScript, these all their latest means 2015 it is. And in the modern JavaScript, we don't use old techniques anymore. Angular, React like people all use modern JavaScript. Even old JavaScript not recommended. Right, that's the reason you need to know all the new features and how to handle them. And this is binding expression. Remember, this is not allowed. This is not allowed in double quote or single quote. Right, it is allowed only in backticks. Only in backticks. So here the expression we can access username. After that, you can continue your string. In that we are saying you will be again embedded expression. Again embedded expression. So we need to calculate how much age plus 1 next year. This is so simple. You don't need plus before, plus after. So I hope these kind of concatenation you use in other languages also. But in JavaScript latest, we prefer using this binding expression. So this is more easy and convenient way of writing a string. So backtick is not just multiple lines, right? Backtick is for embedded expression. Embedded expression. So let's print the message 2 also. Console.log message 2. Both are same messages, but written in two different styles. One is old technique, another one is new technique. And you see now, when we look into the output of this, compile and run this, and you can see it is working same. But the second version of writing string is more better for modern JavaScript. Output is same. That means now you see the first string. First string is very lengthy and lot of concatenations are there. Second string is very simple and easy to write. Many times you people come with a complaint that this is not working. And that is because you may be thinking single quote as backtick and writing. Then it will not work. Many people are confused between single quote and backtick because both look almost similar. But remember, this is single quote. It will not allow expression. Double quote also will not allow expression. If you write expression and see here, I will say, yeah. If you write the expression and you compile that here and run this and see, you can see directly that expression is printed. If you are getting this kind of output, then that means you are not using backtick, you are trying single quote. So you have to change this into from single quote to what? Backtick. So that is the new thing you need to understand. Single and double quote use plus. And backtick uses embedded data binding expression. We call as data binding expression. Data binding expression is dollar curly brace. Who is that fellow, man? Do you know you can put phone in silent mode? Do you know how to use phones? Huh? Phone have a mode called silent. First learn how to use phone and then put in your pocket. You don't know? Right. So this is single and double quotes and how we can handle the single and double quotes, and another one is backticks, right? Technically, this is string type. So you have two options. One is number, another one string. So you haven't learned any new concept. Same TypeScript string, JavaScript string are same. If anybody is not aware of backtick, you should know it now. That means backtick is a new JavaScript concept of string where you can embed expressions into string easily by using dollar and curly brace. Okay. Now, one more. In JavaScript, you learned string formatting and manipulation. Manipulation methods. Methods are same in TypeScript also. You learned in JavaScript how to format a string and manipulate string. Same methods are used in TypeScript, no change. So what are string formatting methods you learned? What are string formatting methods you learned? In JavaScript, what string formatting methods you learned? String formatting methods we have like bold, like italics, like SUP, like SUB, like we have font size, we have like font color. So we have like two uppercase, you have like two lowercase. This all comes under string formatting methods. JavaScript string handling is important because lot of validations are managed by using string. So these are string formatting related methods that you learn in JavaScript. Same methods are used in TypeScript also. No change. And string manipulation methods, can you tell? String manipulation methods, what we have? string manipulation methods, what you have. You learned JavaScript now, what you are thinking? What are the string manipulation methods? Huh? Substring, anything else? You have index of, you have last index of, you have char at, char code at, you have starts with, you have ends with, we have slice, we have sub str, substring, we have like match. So you have string functions. These are all the string functions now. Anything else you learned? Split, trim, all these comes under string manipulation. These are all string manipulations in JavaScript. How do we convert a string into uppercase, lowercase? How do we change the string size and color? Those are string formatting. And inside the string, which character at which index it is present, whether the character present or not, how many characters are present, length, length, right? So that is a property. How to extract a string from specific index to specific, that is done by using slice. How do we verify whether string is matching with any regular expression or not? That is done by using what? Match. How to divide the string by using split. How to remove unnecessary spaces, trim. All these are string manipulation methods, right? So JavaScript string methods, same TypeScript, no change. So these all methods, what are they, how to use, you will learn in JavaScript. The same you have to use in TypeScript also. So while working with strings, you should know string formatting and you should know string manipulation. For example, here, I will just give you one simple point. Here, this example I will keep above here. This example I will post in the classroom. In the classroom examples, you can get them from there, okay? Now here, one more option I will show you a simple way. Suppose we are writing here where regular expression. Generally, regular expressions, you can write regular expression directly also. For example, I write mobile. Mobile is equal to, it is a string type because I am writing with +91 and all. +91 and it is having 10-digit number 98765432110. Now I need to verify whether the number is starting with +91 and having a 10-digit number or not. How to verify the format? We have to use if mobile is matching with regular expression. Regular expression is written in double slash. In double slash, we write the expression /+91 /d means number 10 digits. If it is matching with that expression. I hope you learned in general HTML, JavaScript, how to write regular expressions. You learn now? So JavaScript, HTML have patterns. You learned how to write a regular expression to verify password is having at least one uppercase or not. right? In HTML, JavaScript, you learned about regular expressions, how to write patterns and regular expression. So match is used for verifying whether the value is matching with this regular expression or not. If it is matching, then here console.log, we will say OTP sent something. Otherwise, we will put console.log the invalid mobile. Like this, we are writing. Now, currently, it is having 10-digit number starting with +91. So then I will run this here, compile and run this. That means it should display that OTP sent because it is matching. And if I miss +91, I'm writing only 10-digit number. And I will verify that one more time. I will compile and run this. Then immediately it says invalid mobile. So we have to verify by using regular expression. And JavaScript will teach you how to write regular expressions. These days, people learn it in HTML itself because HTML5 onwards, there is regular expression. HTML5 onwards, you have regular expression. So in HTML, you learned how to design a text box. Am I right? Form. In the form, we have some user name. And this username is having text box, input type text. So name as username. Now how to put a restriction for this username that it will not allow lowercase letters. It will allow only uppercase letters and 4 to 10 characters only. Then in HTML, you learned you can write a pattern. In the pattern, you can put A-Z 4,10. This is how you write in HTML. HTML5 teaches you how to write patterns. These days, people don't wait until JavaScript because HTML itself have validation, right? HTML means, so not about just only heading, paragraph, pictures and all. You must be very strong in working with forms and validations. These are the key points. In HTML, the main topics are, for a web developer, the main topics are links, images, and forms. These are the three major topics. You need to be very, very strong in those, then only you are a web developer. So, and you see, this is the pattern. And you see, I am typing some name into this. When I am typing some name in small letters, it will not allow. It will say, please match the format. What is that format? We have to write in capital letters. Then it will submit. It is going to submit that and show it. These validations are there in HTML itself. We write patterns in HTML. But why to write patterns in JavaScript and TypeScript? Because these patterns will change according to situation. For example, we will design a page. In that page, we will ask, select your country. User selects a country. According to the country, phone number format will change. That means we don't verify a fixed phone format. Which country he selected, according to that phone format will change. So this kind of logic requires a lot of patterns to write. And every pattern that you write is a string. And it is verified by using which method? Match. We have to write lengthy patterns actually. Very complex, lengthy patterns will be there. For example, suppose I showed you like here, US or UK phone number format. Suppose you see Suppose this is the format of UK phone number. UK phone number format is this. We want user to enter exactly in this format. It should start with plus parenthesis 44. After that parenthesis 2-digit number. After that 4-digit number and 4-digit number with a space between. If they miss any of these, it should not allow. Then how to write a pattern for this? This is very lengthy, very complex, right? We have to write patterns for this. I will show you one simple one. Let's do this and see here. Means to write a pattern like this, I will show you. Currently, this pattern I written for Indian mobile number. If I have to write a pattern for UK mobile number, then see how to write. You have to write in double slash. How do we write that? See. First one, it should start with which symbol? Plus. Then we have to use slash plus. Slash plus. Okay. After that, parenthesis open. Directly you cannot write parenthesis because it is a union operator. Parenthesis is a union operator. Then what you have to do is you have to use slash open parenthesis. After that 2-digit number, that means 0-9. Sorry, here 44, na? 44. After that again slash close parenthesis. This indicates it should be plus inside parenthesis how much? 44. After that again parenthesis open. Again slash parenthesis. In the 2-digit number 0-9, that is number. How many digits? 2 digits. Slash parenthesis close. This indicates inside the parenthesis 2-digit number. How we write that, right? And after that space. Space means slash yes. After that 4-digit number. Then 0-9. How many digits? 4 digits. After that again slash s space. Again 0-9. How many digits? 4. This is how we write patterns. A web developer is tested on, remember, if you can't write a pattern, you are not a web designer. Because there is no form in the world which don't have pattern. You design a login form, you design a registration form. Without pattern, it cannot be there. Because for passwords, for usernames, they have restrictions. Na? They will say that username must have at least one uppercase letter. Password must have one letter, one alphabet, one special character. All these are patterns only. Right? So here I written that pattern. Is my mobile number matching with it? No. Then obviously it will show error. Huh? So I will compile that here. Then it will return error. You can see I am compiling this. It returns error. Okay, let's write the correct way. How do we do that? So plus parenthesis 44. That is common. After that, how many digits? Again parenthesis. 2-digit number. I return some 30. After that, space. 4-digit number. After that, space. Again, 4-digit number. Now I will save this. I am matching the pattern what they ask. And let's compile and run this and here. And when I compile and run this, you can see it says OTP sent. If my pattern has gone wrong anywhere, it says invalid. Now remember, it's not one pattern we write. For every country, different mobile number pattern. User will select from a drop down and he will verify, right? Such interface you have to design in Angular. In Angular, you have to design such UI. Ask user to select phone number and select his country. According to that, phone number should verify. So this requires string handling very well. And for that, we use the method called match. This is a simple example here. I will just give an example of this. So this is all about which data type? String type. So you learned same what is there in JavaScript, right? Here just only data type. You have to mention data type. Okay. And here everywhere the data type for string is string type. Okay. Next important in the data types, Boolean type. Boolean type, I hope everybody knows, right? Boolean types are used in. Why we need a Boolean type in computer programming? Why you need a Boolean data types in computer programming? I know Boolean type is true or false. I am asking why you need Boolean types are used in decision making. The purpose of Boolean types is decision making. In computer programming, decision making is done by using Boolean types. And Boolean type can handle true or false. But here one small difference is there. Actually, JavaScript Boolean type true is equal to 1 and false is equal to 0. So TypeScript will not allow 1 and 0 for Boolean, right? TypeScript means just true or false. JavaScript will allow true or false with 1 or 0. But TypeScript is not going to allow. So in TypeScript, true false means directly true false keywords. But in JavaScript, it can be 0 or 1 also. I will show you. That is one difference actually. So here I said where stock is a Boolean and it is having true. And while writing condition, this is TypeScript. In TypeScript, I am writing stock is equal to 1. It is wrong. It cannot. Actually, 1 refers to true. It cannot work here. It is invalid. It says that so stock is true. Comparison appears unintentional because Boolean and number have no overlaps. But in JavaScript it is. I will show you. Suppose in JavaScript, generally, here I am writing in JavaScript where stock is equal to true. And if stock is equal to 1, that means I am writing document.write available. Otherwise, I am writing out of stock, document.write out of stock. And actually, this is valid in JavaScript. It is valid in JavaScript. Run this and see. You can, it is valid. So this is valid in JavaScript, not in TypeScript. In JavaScript, actually, that is a valid one. But TypeScript will not allow. So in TypeScript, you have to use only true false. So how do we compare that? Here we have to compare just by using which one? True. If true, then what should happen? If false, what should happen? No 0 1. No 0 1. Actually, if in any interview anybody asked you in JavaScript what is true plus true, in JavaScript true plus true is 2. In JavaScript true plus true is true, and in TypeScript it is invalid. It is invalid. So this difference you will find in TypeScript. So in TypeScript, forget that 0 1 are used for booleans, but in JavaScript it will do, right? So in TypeScript it is not. So TypeScript will not allow 0 1 for boolean. So what you have to do? So you have to use true or false. You have to use true or false keywords. Others you cannot, right? So syntactically, just I will give where stock is boolean and is equal to true. If stock is equal to 1, so then what will be there? This is actually invalid in TypeScript. So but valid in JavaScript. It is valid in JavaScript. This is what you need to know. Now in TypeScript, what you have to do? If stock is equal to true, right? It is valid in both JavaScript and TypeScript. So you have to always use booleans with true or false, because lot of JavaScript people have this habit. Wherever they want true, they use 1. Majority at very high level programming also we use 1 and 0 for true or false. But once we come to TypeScript, it will not work. So you need to remember that you should never use 0 1 for true false. You should always use only true or false, right? Yeah. This is a Boolean type. How we can define the booleans and use. Here one interesting point is there. Note is very important is actually TypeScript supports union of types. TypeScript supports union of types. This is very, very major point that you need to use it now. What is union of type and why you need this union of type? Why you need this union of type and why it is very important in TypeScript is actually you have to work with front-end HTML. In front-end HTML, from any element you send a value, it is by default string. Any element you send a value, by default it is string. That means now lot of issues will be there, right? For example, see, I will tell you the issues actually. Suppose we are defining what is special union of types. I said var username. Username is string type. That's okay. I can get this from a text box and send it. Suppose I am using age. Age is number. And this also I need to send through a form element. From form element, whatever you send is a string. That means in HTML, see, we have input type is equal to number. And here we put value 22. Actually, this is a string. That means anything, suppose you given an option, you know options in drop down. In option, you give value 22, it's also string. Anything that you input from HTML form is a string. Then it is big headache because you have to convert that string into number, boolean, a very big problem, right? Now this is the problem generally you will face. So initially a string is expected. Initially a string is expected. After that it should be converted into number. So take a string, convert into number. That means you need to able to handle two types. In that case, it's very simple here. You can mention like this: age is a number type, and a pipe symbol string type. You can put both of them now. This is called union. This is not there in several programming languages. That is one great feature of TypeScript. That means TypeScript supports multiple types to manage, which is not there in almost a majority of languages. Union of types. That means a data type can be either string or number, right? That means now into this, I am passing, suppose age is equal to 10. It is working. Into that age is equal to string 20. That is also working. Into that age, I said true. It will not work. Why? Because it is a Boolean. And you can make it acceptable by using Boolean as union. That means you can design the variable in such a way that it can handle multiple types. That is one great feature. This is very, very important feature you need actually. Why you need this? Because I will tell you the point here. See, why you need this, I will show you. Actually, union of types means we have var name, it is what type, some string type, and here we can define as suppose number type. Like this I'm giving just roughly. Actually, why you need that, I will tell you here. Suppose you know in HTML, JavaScript, HTML, if you want to take value from user, we can use prompt. Am I right? Now, what is the point about prompt is enter name. Prompt allows you to input value. If user don't input, because prompt have a cancel option also. So what is the result of this prompt now? The result of the prompt is a string if user enters some value. If don't, then it is obviously null. Am I right? Then how you declare variable for this? So I am giving var username, what type? String type, and it is showing error. But prompt is string type only. Whatever you enter, it is string type. It is saying that no, it is not just only string type, because if user don't enter anything, it will be null. Right now, these kind of problems you will face while working with TypeScript. Now, how do we solve this problem now? How do we solve this problem? We have to tell that it is either string or what? Null. Now the problem is solved. Only one type is not enough now. Even you define one type, it will not take. Why? Because it says that the input you are providing is not just returning a string, it can be a null also. Then you have to create a union of types. So that means it is string or null. This is very, very important thing you should know. That is why union of type is very important. So you can design the data type. You have to design the data type to handle multiple. Because in the real time scenario, we don't know from where data will come, and we don't know whether the data will mandatorily come or not. Sometimes it may cancel. It may return null. In that case, our type must be ready to handle any. Your variable must be able to handle string, or it must be able to handle null. That is very important. Otherwise, when you apply such prompts, conform, text boxes and all, because actually in Angular, we have to take value from UI and store it in the reference. And if it is coming from prompt and others, it will not take, because it says that if it is cancelled, it is not returning string. So its data type cannot be string. It must be either string or null. There is no order in this. Union order is not there. Order you can write any null or string or null. Both type are mentioned or not important, right? This is very important. So if I write var username as string and I enter prompt and I say enter name, is it valid? It is invalid. Understood? This is how we can manage the basic types: number, string, and boolean. Now some more data types are there that we will see in tomorrow's session. Okay, so if we can finish these data types, operators, statements. Operator statements I will not explain, because same JavaScript operators and statements. Statements means, you know, na if condition, for loops, same concept. So here we will start OOP concept now, which is very, very important, right? Non-primitive types, primitive types, both we will discuss. Tomorrow we will continue with other types. Okay, right? Yeah.